Hey everyone, welcome to this another week of Soul Talk Energy Insight. For this one's for July 7th to the 12th. My name is Jackie Ellis. I'm with JackieEllis.com, and for those of you that don't know me, if you're new to seeing these energy insights, I'm an intuitive guide and mentor. I teach people how to decode the energy within their life so that they can create a life that they love. I'm an energetics master, is what my friends call me. Um, yeah, like the energy for July is all about soul mastery. Or sorry, it's actually about emotional mastery, which leads us to soul mastery, yes. But emotional mastery, and so far we're only a week in, and so far, even I've been stretched and asked to expand, which is not surprising because our growth and expansion is infinite. So um, yeah, it hasn't necessarily been an easy week, um, an easy month so far. So if you are watching this through our new Aligned app or are part of my Rise Up group, drop a comment or in either of those group chats, and let me know how you're doing, because I've been feeling it, so I'm fairly confident that other people have been feeling it too. But before we go too much further, Archangel Metatron um, would like to share a message for this week. We are in the waxing quarter moon. We are in the waxing quarter moon, which is our lower chakras. Archangel Metatron, what would you like to share for this message? For those of you that don't know, I use Amanda Ellis's Archangel Metatron Oracle cards for these. I like to give a shout out to Amanda Ellis because the messages that I receive directly, even without these cards, from Archangel Metatron, are very much aligned with these cards. Okay, so this one is go with the flow, paddle on. Go with the flow. I find it very interesting because it looks like we're going through a valley, going down the stream. Water generally indicates it's a symbol of emotions. So when we are going with the flow, we are very much not fighting the current. We are allowing the emotions to flow in, and we are allowing ourselves to respect the direction that the emotions are showing us to go. Not necessarily allowing us to saying don't go in the deep end or don't go off the deep end. So when we're going with the flow, we are allowing the emotions to show us the direction that we need to look at, in order to figure out what we need to heal, what we need to delve into to understand the significance of why these emotions matter. for our own personal journey. When we are fighting the current, we're going the opposite direction, and life is going to be harder. We're going to find ourselves struggling a lot more and fighting those emotions and being in resistance. And then we're going to be like we'll hit like an eddy in the river, and we'll go in circles. When we're in the shadows, even if we are like going with the flow of the emotions, but we find ourselves in the shadows, we're hitting rocks, and we're getting bumped around a lot. But when we're in the narrow pathway, we're allowing those calmer waters to cleanse and heal us. And that's really, really super aligned of hashtag, of course, with the message that I received today about, will you enter the valley? Will you enter the valley? So thank you, Metatron. Before I get into the messages for today, I'm going to share with you the Light Mastery Map. If you do not have it, you can go to my website and download it for free. You'll get just sign up for any of the free resources, and you'll get access or an email that'll show you how to get access to the Light Mastery Map. So the waxing quarter moon is our lower chakras. So it is our domain. It is the week for our boundaries. So any triggers that we may have about boundaries that we aren't honoring for ourselves or other people, we will be shown. What are we willing to do for our journey, and what aren't we willing to do? Support. How supported do we feel during every step of the way? What are the limits that we place on ourselves that are actually stopping us from stepping into that next part of our journey? What resources are we allowing ourselves to receive that will help us move forward? And how much space are we giving ourselves, or are we giving ourselves the space that we need to help our journey in some way? When we are in the shadows this week, we are either one of two extremes. We are trying to control everything, and we are very much dominating everything and every outcome because there's some sort of uncertainty or fear that we are being, sometimes it could be just a fear of or fear of uncertainty. It could be an over reaction to feeling controlled, and so that's the solution your brain said it needed to go to. It went past the other way from victim mindset to overbearing and controlling. The other extreme is being in a victim mindset and very much thinking that we have no power. Both are powerlessness energy. Both are shadow energies. The power, the divine power that you have within you that truly honors yourself and other people is in the narrow pathway. It's in the balance, in the center. And this one truly is, when we're feeling extremely emotional or off balance in a spiritual sense, it is we find that balance again from our divine masculine energy, which is our higher mind's logical and physical well-being. It's our higher mind telling us to do this, to ground our energies, and we will find the actions that are honoring other people and ourselves. It is to ground our energies, the excess energies, the excess emotional energies, and allow ourselves to logically think through things from a higher perspective than we were thinking. And when we allow ourselves to do that, we are no longer feeling like we are under attack. We are looking at things from a different perspective and trying to see what the significance is for our own journey around that situation. What needs to be healed in order to stand in that honorable space again for our journey. Okay. Will you enter the valley? Kind of a cryptic title. What valley? What valley are we going through? Is that a physical valley that we have to drive through? No. It's a spiritual valley. One that we tend to go through on a regular basis for our journey. Like every time we're triggered. Or we get the choice to go through that valley every time we're triggered. It also could be a valley that isn't necessarily centered around being triggered, but it is a level up. It is a valley where we are entering to explore new gifts and understandings about those new gifts. So it could mean different things for different people this week. But this is the overall message that I received. This is a time of contemplation or reflection for many. They have moved through their fears and are embracing decisions they feel is best for them. So they've moved through the fears, or they have chosen to step out of the fear, step away from the fear, and step forward in some way. And now they're like mulling over those decisions to see what they feel is best for them. They may not do this consciously. They may be doing this subconsciously. But know that this is true for everyone. Everyone will be going through this on a global scale. Every small step matters during this time. So each small step sets the stage and creates a solid foundation to the upcoming spiritual experience that's waiting for them. Each small step you take sets the stage and creates a solid foundation to the upcoming spiritual experience waiting for you. Now, I talked a little bit about the valley. What valley am I talking about? What valley am I talking about where we go through every time we're triggered, or we have the opportunity to go through every time we're triggered? Every time we have a growth experience. Every time we have leveled up from a spiritual journey standpoint and received gifts. And now we're trying to understand them on a deeper level and how to use them, how to empower ourselves to help others by using these gifts in our own way. The valley I'm talking about is from Psalm 23. You know, the one that says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. And you comfort me. And there's a table, an abundant table that overflows. Before that, on Psalm 23, it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures, and he leads me beside quiet waters. I like the word quiet waters, not still waters, because quiet waters there's flow to it, but it's not super rapid, it's not rapid. It's just a calm flow that is cleansing and calming. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Each spiritual experience is a journey of exploration to learn more about yourself. Everyone will be given this opportunity this week, but how we choose to go through the valley will depend upon each person. God leads us along the quiet waters so we can release what we are shown and use the loving waters to cleanse the shadows from us. However, many will turn away and go another way. They'll get to the valley and they'll go, I'm not going there. That's too scary in there. And they'll go a different way, not realizing the valley is the way to transformation and freedom. You know where it says, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies and anoint my head with oil, my cup overfloweth. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Abundance, transformation, and freedom is waiting at the other end of that valley. But a lot of people will turn away from the valley thinking that that's too scary for them, and they'll end up going in a loop, because the universe always finds a way to repeat experiences that we have not learned from, that we have not let go of, that we have not released for healing. Then there are many that will enter the valley, but then get lost as they focus on the shadows that are shown to them and continue to believe that that is the path for them. So they'll be shown the shadows, and then they follow. They go off, they go away from those calm waters, and they end up in the shadows, in the caves, wandering around in the dark, wondering why they can't see a way out, feeling stuck, and getting bumped around and hurt and feeling all kinds of emotions. You see, when we face our emotions, the waters will quiet within, and we will be shown what to release, so that we may receive the abundance within this transformation that is awaiting each one of us. That's key. If we stay by the calm waters and we face the emotions that we're feeling, our inner calm will come. and we will receive an abundant message that will help us enter into transformation that is waiting for us. The transformation is already prepared. That meal, that table at the end of the valley is already there, waiting for us to get there. But if we don't look at the emotions, if we don't acknowledge the emotions and calm that inner storm and allow ourselves to release what we're being asked to release, and cleanse our energies, cleanse and heal from whatever we're being asked to heal from, then we will not get there. We'll get lost in the shadows, get lost in the dark. Or we'll turn around and we'll end up outside of the valley, destined to repeat once again. Message number 1. Challenging situations may have you on edge this week, but this is your opportunity to choose a new way of showing up in your life. Pause before reacting, then allow Spirit to guide you through this experience so that you may see what is needed to let go of and receive a direction to physically transform your life. You see, when you show up, when you decide that you would like, when you choose to show up in your life in new ways, you physically transform your life. Because you are no longer reacting as you normally would have. You are choosing, no, I'm not doing the old way. I am choosing to show up in a different way. And when you do that, your relationships change. Because you are no longer reacting to the other person. The other person may be reacting to you, but you are not contributing in that way. So there's less chaos. And sometimes you are finding that you're hanging out with different people altogether. Because you're aligning yourself with different energies, different positive energies, instead of staying stuck in the negative all the time. You will find yourself sleeping better because your mind will not be stuck in a negative loop. You will find yourself feeling supported by the divine on a regular basis. You will feel yourself in a deeper connection with yourself, with your higher self. And you know that you feel that loving energy. The anxieties that you used to feel won't be there anymore. The emotional stability will flow in. Because you are showing up in your life different than you used to. Number 2, our emotions and how we are using them lead us to our next spiritual experience, always. And this is what I was talking about. The valley isn't always through a trigger. Oftentimes when we have cleared enough of our triggers, that the next valleys that we are going through are receiving gifts and understanding those gifts and getting to experience how we can align ourselves in our journey so that it honors our higher self and honors who we want to be as we are in service to others, to help others. And every single time, our emotions that we are embodying and how we are using them will lead us to our next spiritual experience. The valley of shadows in Psalm 23 always leads to transformation. Step forward knowing you are learning for the future. So yes, the old you would have possibly saw the valley and went, nope, I'm not looking, I can't deal with that right now, and went a different direction. But the new you doesn't have to be that way. The new you can choose to know that transformation is at the other side of that valley. And it will empower you to step forward and enter that valley with the knowledge that transformation is possible at the end of it. And it doesn't have to sting as much as you think it does. If you allow yourself to follow the calm waters, the quiet waters that Spirit is trying to show you. Okay, number 3. Each transformation of beliefs and thought patterns require a spiritual experience where we are given an opportunity to choose old ways of thinking or looking within to be shown a different perspective that leads us through the valley. So there is, like I said, there's 3 ways. The first one happens, your first opportunity is when you enter you're at just at the edge of the valley. And you're given a choice whether or not you are going to face your emotions and enter that valley, or are you going to avoid and go a different direction. Now, what does that look like in a general situation? That could be you're feeling a certain way, and instead of facing why you're feeling that way, you go, you know what? I don't like how I'm feeling right now. I'm just going to stuff those emotions, and I'm going to look at this inspirational message over here and just think good thoughts. And for a while you feel calm and you get the whole loving feeling happening. And things can kind of like, settle down. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And then you find yourself repeating the same thing. And you're going, why am I on this loop? Why does this always like come around again? It's because you avoided. And the more times we allow that to happen, the stronger the message is, and the more those emotions get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The second one is we okay, I'm going to look at why I'm feeling this way. But then you get too focused in on all of the muck. And you start looking at like, it's their problem and that problem and blah, 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 blah. And you start like going deep into the shadows. And instead of looking at it from a different perspective, a higher perspective, you tend to look at it the way it always has been. The way your brain has always told you it is. You know, they don't change. And no, I don't know. They're always doing this to me and blah, 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 blah. There's a different perspective. When we choose to look at it the old way of thinking, what ends up happening, we end up getting lost in the cave that's in the side of the mountain without a flashlight that works properly. And we bump into walls and we get scraped up and hurt and we're tripping and falling. And it's not pleasant. The narrow pathway is in the center of the valley, by quiet waters. And this is where we get to choose to act by facing our emotions. So it's giving ourselves the space that we need to go through that valley and understand the significance of the experience and why we're going through it. What do we need to release? Why do we need to release it? What, if I released it, what does that mean for me? What's waiting for me in that transformational moment if I allow myself to release what I'm being asked to release? What freedom is there? And then allow your higher mind to receive the messages from the divine, to allow yourself to feel into what that freedom and transformation is possible for you. And then you get to sit at the end of the valley and commune and understand and have a deeper, deeper understanding than you ever had before. And you get to sit in the sun and enjoy the feel of the earth underneath you and allow the water to wash over you and cleanse you as well. Which one will you choose? Will you be entering the valley? Take care, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this. If you are watching this on our Be Aligned app through our Be Aligned membership, drop a comment in the community chat. And let me know how you're doing. Ask me any questions that you might have. And let's support one another through this week. For those of you that are in my Rise Up group, I look forward to our weekly connection session, as well as drop a comment in our group chat. And let me support you, or we can all support each other through this week, because I have a feeling we're all going to need a little bit more support. So, until next time, everyone, be simply you. Take care.